Good morning everyone, my name is Cyprienne and today I'm going to be showing you how to make this really easy crochet tote. This crochet bag matches the Lacy Sun Hat that I posted a few weeks ago, and in that video I asked if anyone would be interested in a bag to match. So many of you asked for it here and on my Facebook page, so I'm really happy to be finally getting this video out to you today. The written pattern is being tested at the moment, so when that is ready to go, I will post a link in the description, and I will also post where you can find the sun hat pattern, so you can check those out later below. All right, are you ready? Let's hit pause and gather our supplies. There is a list I'm putting on the screen now, so you can always take a screenshot or just pause it while you gather things up. But to get started today, all you really need is a 6.5mm hook and 200 grams of worsted weight yarn. Now I use the Bernat Handicrafter and I chose to make a two-tone, so I used 50 grams of the brown for the base and then 150 for the rest of the bag. So that's all you need, and anything for a stitch marker. So once you get that gathered, we will get going. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to be doing is starting with the base of the bag, and to do this we're going to start with a chain of 42. Now that's not going to seem very long, but what we're going to be doing is actually working both sides of the chain. So we could just go ahead and then I'll meet up with you at the end to start on our first round. Okay, so I just finished my chain, and for round one, what I'm going to be doing is skipping the first chain that I made, and then I'm actually working 3 single crochets into the second chain. So this is 1, 2, and 3. And then what we need to do is just work a single crochet all the way across till you reach the last chain, and then we'll meet up and I'll show you what to do there. I have finished working single crochets in the 39 chains, and I have 1 chain left over, and I'm going to place 3 single crochets into that chain. And what that's going to do is just bring us around to the bottom of the chain that we just worked in. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to mirror what we did to start, and we're going to be working 1 single crochet in each chain across. So you'll be working 1 single crochet in the underside of that chain where we just worked 39 stitches. So we'll go ahead and do that, and then I'll meet up with you at the end of round 1. Okay, so I just finished working the underside of my starting chain, and the last thing that we're going to be doing is just joining to the very first single crochet that we made. Now this is going to be the very bottom of our purse, and your final count here should be 84. You need to make sure that whatever count you're using, so if you decided to make your purse or bag wider or smaller, you need to make sure that it's divisible by 3 so that when we get to that textured round, the texture works out okay, because it requires a multiple of 3. So all that we're going to be doing now for the next 11 rounds is just working a single crochet in each stitch around, and you'll work those continually. So what you can do is just put a stitch marker in your first one. You don't even have to move it because the rounds are all the same. So you just put that in and continue to work 11 rounds of single crochet into each stitch around. So I'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll jump right into our textured rounds. This is going to be a really easy pattern. There's not any increasing or decreasing, so it's great to make even in front of the TV. So I might switch to a dark brown. I started doing this up so that it could easily be seen on video, but I think I'm going to switch over to a dark brown because I want to make this the very top of my bag. Okay, let me know how you're making out below. I'm sure everything's great, and I'll meet up with you soon. Okay, so I've just finished making the base of my hat, and I'm ready to change colors now. So if you're changing colors, I'll just quickly show you how to do it. So we're going to start actually I've already cut this off, so I'm going to undo my last stitch. So I'm just going to start my stitch, and then I'm going to be finishing it off with the second color that I've chosen, which is cream. So I'll just finish that off. Okay, Now that is actually, you're still in the last stitch. And then we're going to just continue working directly into the next stitch. So we're going to be working a single crochet and then chain 2 and then a single crochet right in back into that same stitch. Okay, and then we're going to be skipping the next 2 stitches. So skip 1 and 2 and then work a single crochet, chain 2, and then a single crochet right into the same stitch we just worked. And that's your repeat for this round. So skip 2, 1, 2, work in the 3rd, a single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet. And if any of you made excuse me, made the sun hat, then you're already a pro at this stitch. So I'm going to go and finish this round, and then we'll meet up at the end of this round, and we'll move on to the second part of the texture. Okay, so I just finished working that round of the texture, and I'm in my last stitch here. All I'm going to be doing is joining to that first single crochet with a slip stitch, and we're going to chain 1 and turn. Now in the next row, we're going to be working right into these chain 2 spaces, and we're going to work 3 double crochet. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Now I am going to mark my first double crochet with my stitch marker now. It's just sometimes it's a little bit hard to see when we start getting a lot going on at the end of the round. So I'm just going to mark that right there. Okay. And then we are going to be working a double crochet or 3 double crochet into that chain 2 space again. And that's your repeat for this round, working 3 double crochet into the chain 2 spaces. So I'll continue with this round and we'll meet up and I'll show you what to do when we get to the end of this round. Okay, so we just finished round 13 and I'm going to show you how to join and then what we're going to do next. So before we join, to make things easier on us, what I'm going to do here is actually slip a stitch marker into my second double crochet of this cluster, because we're going to be working in there in the following round. And when you start joining here, there's a lot going on, it gets a little bit difficult. So let's just join to that first double crochet with a slip stitch, chain 1 and turn, and then we're going to start working into that second double crochet right there. So we can remove our stitch marker and we're going to be working a single crochet followed by 2 chain stitches, followed by a single crochet right in that space there. Then we're going to skip over the next 2 stitches, working a single crochet, followed by 2 chain stitches, followed by a single crochet right into that space again. So this is your repeat for this whole round. Skip 2 stitches, then work a single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet again. So this is the repeat for the whole pattern. I'll put the instructions in the video above, but what you're going to be doing now is just repeating rounds 13 and 14 till the bag measures 14 inches, or you can make it shorter or longer just by adding or decreasing the amount of rows. But what you want to make sure of is that you finish on a row that you're working the single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. And the reason is that we want the top of the bag to have a little scallop to it. And if you don't want that look, then you could finish it on a round with the 3 double crochets. So I'll go ahead and I'll work all my rounds until this measures 14 inches. And then we're going to come back and we're going to be adding these handles here. So I actually got these from a secondhand store. I was a little bit lucky, but I'm going to check Amazon and see if I can find a link for you guys. And then we're just going to be attaching those at the end. Okay. If you have any questions, pop them below. I check in and answer my responses, but let me know how it's going. And let me know too, I'm curious to know, did you make the sun hat and that's why you wanted to make the matching bag? Or did you see the sun hat and want a matching bag or want a bag? Anyways, okay, I'll pop off for now and we'll meet up very soon. Okay, so I'm back. So I finished my bag and I went ahead and I attached one handle so that you could see what it's going to look like, and I want to explain a few things before I show you how to do it. So the first thing is, when we attach our handles, we're actually going to be attaching them with the inside of the bag facing us, and that is because you're going to end up with this seam as we do our single crochets around the handle, and you don't want that to be showing on the outside of your bag. So we'll go ahead and attach one of the handles together. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to locate our fasten off point on the bag. Then we're going to be counting these chain 2 spaces. We're going to go ahead and we're going to count over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to slip in our stitch marker, and this is going to be the last chain 2 space that we used when we're attaching our handle. Then we're going to go and we're going to count over another 7. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we're in total, we're going to be working through 8 of the chain 2 spaces. Okay, next thing we're going to do is grab our handle, and we're just going to align it over here because this is where we're starting. So this is the easiest place to do it. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is just attach our yarn to our bag, and that's just going to help things from undoing before we start our single crochet. So let's go ahead and join with a slip stitch, and then we're going to insert our hook, and what we're going to be doing is laying the yarn, our working piece, over top of the handle. Then we're going to take our crochet hook, reach under, and grab that yarn. This is going to be a little bit hard, but you'll get the hang of it. So holding on to this yarn, you're going to pull this through. Essentially, we're just doing a single crochet. I'm going to yarn over and pull that through. Now work these as tight as possible so that it's nice and tight on the handle, and you want to try and work your tension as evenly as possible so that you get a nice clean join. Okay, we're going to go back into that chain 2 space that we are working in right now and do that again. So we're going to insert the hook, grab the yarn, pull it up, yarn over, and through the loop. Okay, one more time. We're working 3 single crochets into each chain 2 space as we attach the handle. So work right back in there, grab the yarn, pull it up, yarn over, and through the loop. Okay, and there's that seam starting that I was telling you about, and that's why we're working with the wrong side facing, or the inside of the bag. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next chain 2 space. So as we're working these, we're always working in the chain 2 spaces and then around the handle. So we're going to insert the hook, pull up the yarn around the hook and through. Lots of distractions here today. My dog's shaking. We're getting work done outside. Lots going on. Okay, so I'm going to do that 2 more times and then I'll leave you and we'll finish off the bag. So that's 1 more and 2 more. And this was an unexpected surprise. I actually didn't realize it was going to look quite so cute. So there I've done 2, and there's that seam, and that you can just move once the handle's on. But I love the way it actually works out. It gives it more texture and more interest. Okay, so now all you're going to do is work all the chain 2 spaces across to your next stitch marker, including that, so that you will have worked through a total of the 8 chain 2 spaces. So finish that up, and then I'll come back and show you how to do the second handle. Okay, so we are moving on to the second handle, which I've already attached. All we're going to do is flip the bag around, and we're going to do the exact same thing, but this time we're going to be counting from right to left to locate our stitches. So I'll pop that above in the instructions, and you can go ahead and attach the second handle. So that's it for this tutorial. I made this little bucket hat to go with my bag, just to add a little bit of color. If you're interested in a video for that, let me know in the comments below. It's so easy. You can do it up in just a couple of hours, and it's super casual and cute. So let me know. I'm happy to do that up for you. But I'm excited that I finally have the bag done, and I am going to attach my scarf like I showed at the beginning, and I'm going to start to use it. So anyways, I really hope that you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for being here, and for those of you who are still here all the way to the end, thank you so much for being here. Make sure to give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Consider subscribing if you loved it. It will help to grow my channel, and it will help my videos to reach more people that might enjoy them. Anyways, that's it for now. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye for now.